Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Summer.
And my name's Alex. Welcome to our YouTube channel. You can probably tell by the quality of this video that this is our first time ever recording a YouTube video.
Yeah, so welcome. We've created this channel basically to document our trip in the month of January throughout Florida. So we're going to be doing kind of half kayaking, half backpacking. We're going to be kayaking in the Wilderness Waterway region of the Everglades National Park in South Florida, and then we'll be moving up to the Suwannee and Big Bend portion of the Florida National Scenic Trail. So that's kind of what this channel will be about.
Yeah. But before we get into the whole trip and kind of what we're going to be doing, we wanted to take some time to actually introduce ourselves and make sure we tell this channel who we are.
So we're both college students. We're both in our senior year, and we go to a coastal Florida school called Eckerd College. We're both pretty into the environment. We're both studying environmental studies here at Eckerd, and we're just super passionate about getting outside, environmental justice work, and just general nature enthusiasts.
Yeah. And our sophomore year, we both applied to this really awesome program that our school offers. We were accepted, and as part of this program, we developed just what we call discovery plans. And there are tons of different aspects of this plan, like doing a service portion, an internship. We also have a study abroad piece, which we'll get to in a minute. And we wanted to think about what we were going to do for this plan and like what would adhere to our strengths and our passions. And we have a lot of funding to be able to do all of those different components. So this trip ended up being a part of our plan, kind of coincidentally. It didn't start off that way.
Yeah. So my plan kind of focuses around food equity and just like the food equity movement throughout history. But both of us initially wanted to do studying abroad for our travel portion, but because of COVID-19, those plans kind of got adjusted in a lot of ways. I think we both went through, a lot of turbulent times with putting a lot of passion into our study abroad portions and then them getting canceled.
Yeah.
So we kind of pivoted and talked to each other, and we're like, what if we did something together? And we both really love hiking and backpacking and also kayaking, and we don't have the most experience, but we really want to gain experience, so that's kind of what this trip has become.
Turned into. When we first started thinking about what we were going to do for this trip, like Summer said, we were thinking about what we actually really cared about and what we wanted to get out of this program and be able to use the funding on. And again, we're both super passionate about environmental justice and all things nature, and we've always both really wanted to do like a big backpacking trip. We watch all the other YouTubers like Pacific Crest Trail videos and things, but we've never had the time, and now we do. Our school has a kind of like winter semester where you can take some time and go on a trip. So we have a month to just go on a trip, and then we have the funding from this program. So everything kind of worked out, and we've been super lucky to be able to have an opportunity like this. And again, we are total newbies to like everything. Neither of us have done anything over like 5 or a week really backpacking, and neither of us have done an overnight kayaking trip ever.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be our first time.
We're just going in head first. But in deciding our plans, we kind of went back and forth. So we were like, okay, we're gonna do this. Like, first we were just like, okay, we're gonna do a hiking trip, and then we were like, wait, what if we incorporated kayaking? So we were talking about going to Tennessee or Texas or maybe California, doing for the PCT, but we kind of ended up thinking, what about Florida? No one really talks about Florida. Minimal amounts of hiking videos are about the Florida Trail, and it's kind of this pushed aside beauty. And I've grown up in Florida. I'm from Florida, and I never really heard about anyone hiking the Florida Trail. And I think mostly people are like, oh, it's a flat state. Like, people don't hike there. People don't do outdoor recreation there besides like maybe hunting and going to the beach. And so Alex is also from Houston, Texas. So we're both Southern girls, and we kind of wanted to like reframe the narrative of like outdoors in the South and what it can look like. So we obviously, neither of us necessarily embody like the traditional Southern stereotypes, and we kind of wanted to make sure that everyone, regardless of their identity, feels that they can be in outdoor recreation spaces, whether that's hiking or kayaking. Going to REI alone can be a little stressful when you don't know a lot, or any other outdoor store. But so that's kind of one of the main missions that we have, is really being part of this movement to diversify the outdoors and to make it comfortable for everyone.
And we really think making the outdoors more diverse, more accessible for all people is a really big part of environmental justice. And again, that's really the focus of our plans. It's been the focus of a lot of our academic work here at Eckerd. So we want to bring that into our hiking trip and into these videos that we create.
Yeah, so now that we have some background on who we are and why we're doing this, we want to get into a bit of our itinerary and our plans. So we're taking the whole month of January to do this trip. So we'll be starting and meeting early in January and driving down to the Florida Everglades National Park. And from there, we'll be doing a 3-day kayaking trip in the Wilderness Waterway area. So we'll be camping on chickees, which are like these big structures in the water, and you're like not around any land, but so we're really excited about that. And then we'll also be doing some beach camping, so that'll be our first kind of section of our trip, and then we're gonna reconvene and repack and reorganize all of our gear because we'll be needing some different gear for hiking, and then we're gonna go up to North Florida and do the
Swanee to Big Bend section of the Florida Trail.
Then we'll be doing the Swanee to Big Bend section of the Florida Scenic Trail, and that will be culminating in Tallahassee. So we'll be ending kind of below Tallahassee, but we'll be driving up for a lobby day hosted by the Florida Plastics Coalition, focusing on environmental policy, something we're both passionate about. So we're kind of adding a little bit of activism into this trip, which is exciting for us.
Yeah, and on top of all of that, we wanted to take the time to do some Indigenous knowledge work throughout this trip. For us, acknowledging the presence and history of Indigenous communities is a requirement for doing anything in the outdoors, for doing any sort of outdoor recreational activity. So we're going to be taking the next couple of weeks before our trip to educate ourselves about the history of the Seminole Nation, the Seminole people, which is the primary tribe here in the state of Florida, before we head out on this journey, and to think through the ways that we can best support Indigenous voices and uplift Indigenous communities along this journey, because they have been systemically silenced by the U.S. government and the national park system. So that's a really big part of our trip as well.
Awesome.
So on that note, you can follow our Instagram, which is the same title as our YouTube. It's Walk Pretty Far on Instagram. We'll be posting pretty frequently on there, just some short updates, and we're going to try to post on YouTube 2 times a week while we're out kayaking and backpacking. I'm going to re-emphasize that this is our first time doing all of this, so just bear with us as we figure out the editing process. We're not vloggers, I think you can tell by now. Follow along on Instagram, and this will really serve as a space for us to be able to reflect on this too, for folks back home and at Eckerd to check in on us, to see what we're up to, and for all the viewers to learn along with us as we do something we've never done before.
Yeah, we're all just really excited to share our like raw and authentic experiences with you guys, and this was a project that was really like created solely by us. We've like set all of our routes and our itinerary and stuff, so the preparation for this trip, we've learned a lot, and I guess we're just kind of excited to learn along the way, because I'm sure there'll be many bumps in the road that we'll have to overcome, but we're going into it with a pretty positive outlook. So please stay tuned. We're really excited to see what's to come.
Bye!
Thank you!
Hello, it's Alex. A couple of weeks after this video has been filmed, just wanted to update folks, if you've watched this far, that we're actually not going to be doing the lobby day anymore, so we'll just be hiking for a couple of more days. I also wanted to tell folks to check the description underneath this YouTube video for some extra resources and some links that we've been using. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon with another video.